So I heard this rumor. I don't know if it's true or not. That you do something that's called a microdose. It's false.
Ooh.
It's false advertisement.
False advertisement.
Yeah. Now,
I wouldn't say that I've done this in particular, but I've definitely done a lot of research on it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So you're very knowledgeable on the topic.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'll be doing everything I gotta do to get to where I wanna be. I'm doing that all 2020. A lot of people saying this year that they gon' blow up, but they don't come close to my energy. Ain't nobody knowing what your boys got planned right now, but trust me, you should wait and see. Past few years, yeah, your boy's been slept on, but now I'm elevated to a better me.
This later, but it's like a lot of what it comes down. I can send you a video on it. Is that we don't use our tongues the right way. Like we're supposed to keep our tongues pressed against the roof of our mouth. That causes the face to get wider in here, and like because we don't breathe right, our faces don't develop right, and there's a lot of problems. Because dude, he explains all
our faces all develop differently because we go.
Because like look, when I mouth breathe, I have to lean forward. You see how people lean forward? That's to help make the angle for your airway better to breathe through here. Whereas when you press the tongue against the roof of the mouth, it lifts the head up into position. It changes the shape of your airway, and you can breathe through your nose more.
And all right, guys, we're live too. And then, bro, here.
Oh, really?
Pull the mic down.
Okay.
Yeah. You want to try to keep it nice and close to your face.
Yeah. So, what's
this
guy's name again?
Sorry.
What's this guy's name on Joe Rogan's podcast? You talking about
James Nestor.
James Nestor.
Yeah.
Right. So one thing I noticed because you were talking about breathing differently, right? One thing I noticed is that for me, when I open my mouth, I'm breathing through my mouth. It's different than if I like slightly move my bottom jaw forward, and I feel like I almost get more air flow through. Now I have a habit of honestly when I'm grappling mouth breathing, probably because I'm panicking most of the time, I'm not paying any attention to that. But I think there's definitely some theory to like if you can control your oxygen intake at least like. Have your mind and body sync a little bit better, you can definitely help your endurance. Because sometimes it's the anxiety makes you tired, and sometimes you're just, sometimes when you're doing a scramble, you have a tendency to hold your breath. Especially me, I'll fucking hold. If I have a 10-second scramble, if I don't pay attention, I'll literally hold my breath the whole scramble and then be dead afterwards. Yeah. That's where I just take, shorter breaths or different breaths. But I never really got into learning the technique of breathing. Is that something you ever practice?
Yeah, from time to time. The Wim Hof stuff isn't something that I've gotten to the point where I've studied that. That's where I'd say kind of sort of like higher order stuff comes from. But the main video that I have studied that has influenced sort of how I think about breathing. I got tucked right into this thing, don't I? Would be from this YouTube channel called What I've Learned. And it's about like 8-minute video, and it talks about how we don't really use our tongues properly, and how like you need to sort of press your tongue against the roof of your mouth. That changes the shape of your nasal cavity up here, and it shuts your mouth, and it's going to force air to only go out through your nose. And there are actually some fairly important structures that are in your nose that monitor your blood oxygen levels.
Oh, wow.
So like when you're breathing through your nose, your body is better able to keep your oxygen levels where they need to be. As compared to your mouth. So there's actually Alberto Crane talked about this. He's a neurophysiologist, studies a lot about this stuff. He runs an academy in Burbank, California. But he brought up the point that you want to have like 3 gears for your breathing. Like you want to breathe through your nose in and out as often as you can. And then your next gear up from that is in the nose, out through the mouth. And the gear up from that is all mouth. So like when you're trying to use maximum effort and maximum energy, we'll have to breathe through your mouth because you can get more air in and out. But any point when you're only at like 80% or below, you want to try to breathe through your nose so that your body is going to bring itself back to a baseline so you recover better.
So let me ask you this: when you're redlining, right? You're at the point where you're gonna fucking die because you can't catch your breath. What's the best way to continue moving through your motions while breathing? Is it if you have the choice? In and out the nose or in and out the mouth or the other variation?
If it's NickyRod versus Muhammad Ali, you should breathe out through your mouth.
Through the mouth, right?
Yeah, because you just need more oxygen. You're not going to be able to get as much through the smaller airway.
I almost feel like you get like a better, like a higher quality breath when you breathe through your nose. Like it might be less oxygen, but it feels different. You know what I mean? Like it definitely feels like it's filling up more of my chest as opposed to almost when I breathe through my mouth, it fills up like the bottom of my chest.
Yes, exactly. Well, that just the shape of your nose when you draw the air in through your airway, it's like the difference between breathing through a, like a big plastic straw and a really small straw. And when you breathe in slowly through the air, it better fills in the lungs. There's more blood exchange. The structures in your blood are stimulated to produce nitrous oxide, which makes your blood vessels expand. There's just a huge number of benefits from breathing through our noses. And it's particularly, like we talked about before, I know it's a strange thing, but like mouth taping at night.
Yeah. That
will lead to you're forced to breathe through your nose. And the first few times I tried it was a couple years ago, and it's terrifying at first. It's really scary because most of us are obligate mouth breathers. I definitely was. I vividly remember when I was doing my strength and conditioning sessions back in Boulder that I would immediately start mouth breathing within 3 minutes of the warm-up.
Because you're so high up?
No.
You couldn't catch your oxygen?
I just wasn't thinking about breathing through my nose, man.
Oh, really?
And like the second my capacity would go above 50%, I would just start breathing through my mouth and I wouldn't stop. So I never really realized that. And then I always have like, dry air in there, I'd be getting sick a lot and things of that nature. And then once I started thinking about breathing through the nose a little bit more, it started to make sense that, it's going to help you maintain a higher, just a baseline of oxygenation in your body. And so you're not like, when you breathe through your mouth, then you're not really going max capacity. It's sort of like your levels are going up and down, and because you're not really using the machinery in your nose to keep everything at a constant level. There's no nitrous oxide. And,
so kind of breathing slower and better can kind of lead to a better workout experience, I guess.
Yeah.
Right. I'm thinking if I'm competing, right? Like, because obviously you were talking about having different gears to your breath, right?
Yes.
So like when you're in that fifth or sixth final gear and you're like, going 100 miles an hour, I guess it'd be better to just like fucking take a couple deep breaths in an instance where you have 3-4 seconds to rest.
If you can get a few nose breaths in, I try to do that. I try to as often as I can keep tongue pressed against the roof of the mouth. Right. But and that's a chiropractor at this place, Thrive, which I think
I've heard of that.
Yeah, it's pretty close to here. He was talking because I have a little bit of a rib boo-boo, and he was like, one thing you want to keep your ribs pretty robust and let the belly move. It's like belly breathing combined with your nose breathing. If you can do that when you're working out, it takes a lot of focus and a lot of effort.
Something I've always had a problem with is controlling my breathing, because like I get to the point like I'll get like shit tired, but like I just won't stop. You know what I mean? So that's the difference. Like guys get tired and stop. Like I might be fucking dying inside, but your boy's still gonna keep coming.
Yeah, dude. You after that match with Muhammad, that was such an awesome.
He's so big. He's a 200. He was like 260, 265, and a 6'4".
Yeah.
I mean,
straight out of an action figure package.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a big boy. I mean, I remember like I have huge hands and they usually wrap around people's necks, but I had to use my whole forearm to snap him down because he was just so big. Yeah.
And Jay's been talking about that snap down recently, the practices we've been doing.
Dude, I mean, if you're a jiu-jitsu guy, you get a snap down like that, you're going straight to front head and guillotines. You know what I mean? For me, I just went to the back, more of a wrestler. But, now I'd be fishing from the neck more, for sure.
Yeah, bro.
For sure. So how long were you in Boulder for?
So I went to Boulder, Colorado for school at the University of Colorado Boulder. I started in 2009. I was supposed to graduate in 2013. That did not happen. I graduated in 2015.
Okay.
Yeah. So it took me. I remember I told that.
Having too much fun?
I took a year off to get my EMT, my emergency medical technician basic. But I remember telling a kid that like, oh, I'm like in my fifth, and I was like, oh, you're a master's student. Oh, wow. No, still going for my bachelor.
Yeah, I feel you.
A little kneecap from a 9-year-old. But no, I went there for school. I knew they had a club wrestling team. Didn't have the best grades leaving high school, and so managed to go there to University of Colorado.
You're like a C student, B student.
I did really well, and then after wrestling didn't go so well for me, I just kind of got super depressed. I think that's a story a lot of high school wrestlers can.
Yeah. Because it's like you think that's going to be the pinnacle of your life. You know what I mean?
Yeah, people don't
go your way.
It's like the biggest thing you've done so far.
And it's in reality, you're working probably 2 to 5 times harder than every other high school kid that's doing sports. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If you're on the football team, you're the hardest work on the football team. That's cool.
Yeah.
You're doing the very least in the wrestling room.
Yeah.
Considering, you know what I mean? So when you're talking about how much work you put into how little reward you have at the end, like you win a lot of small matches throughout the season, but like, you know, that end goal is maybe that district or that region or a state title, and you know, only one kid gets that a year, you know, and he only got 4 years to fucking do it in high school. So yeah, tough shit.
Yeah, man.
Did you feel like training in Boulder kind of gave you like an advantage as far as cardio goes because you're so high up?
You know, I got to imagine there's some type of permanent adaptation from being, because I did 11 years I was up there.
Yeah,
and I'm sure that does have a permanent adaptation. From what I have heard, though, probably like my cardio might have like jumped up just a little bit by permanently being there for a little bit. But I do know that the blood vessel, not blood vessel, but the red blood cell count that goes up when you go up in elevation goes back down when you go down. So but I bet there's like further improvements, like capillary density, you know, better arterial reach, things like that. So I'm sure there are things that have improved me being up there. And, you know, that was, my cardio wasn't such a problem in 2016 and 17, but then, you know, especially in the past, like 2019, this season in 2020, it's affected me for sure. I definitely need to be focusing on my cardio better.
Yeah. Do you think it's because you're doing more in your matches maybe? Are you expending more energy, or is the competition just getting better?
Competition's getting better.
Right?
And
You're pretty much doing the same thing. You're just going against better guys.
yeah, I'd say so.
Yeah.
I mean, since quarantine began, like, you know, like not necessarily the toughest guy, but like BB Monster, Roberto Jimenez, you know.
Yeah, tough guys.
Yes,
tough matches.
exactly. Yeah.
Yo, how'd you do against Roberto?
Dude, it was a decent fight, man.
Yeah.
You know,
You did it at Third Coast Grappling?
Yeah, Third Coast. He like
interesting rule set.
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
What I don't understand, right? So what was the times of the match? It was like 7 and 5, right? 7-minute match and 5-minute overtime.
Yes.
So 7-minute match, 5-minute overtime, and it's almost guaranteed to go to overtime.
Yes.
Because points don't matter. Yeah, you can only win by points if you tech fall the guy, right? Which is like a 10 points or 11 points, something like that.
It's 11. I did that too.
Yeah. Well, you're a fucking savage, so that's understandable. That's understandable. So that's interesting because it almost entices you just to not do anything to overtime.
Or charge forward and try to pass a lot. But yeah.
Yeah. I mean, but if you're going against, you know, like
it's
clearly you were way better than your opponent. You know, if it's a competitive match, you almost want to stall to overtime and then fucking try to score in overtime.
Yeah, or do nothing, you know?
Or do nothing. Yeah.
I would love to see the stats on how many quarterfinals, semifinals, and finals in the IBJJF have been decided by 11 points or more.
Yeah, wow.
It's got to be what, like 5-10% maybe. Probably not many. Like, I'm sure there are plenty of submissions, but like points victories of 11 or more in a competitive setting probably don't happen.
Well, we're going heel hooks these upcoming years. There's gonna be some new champs going around. There's gonna be some new champs, man. I don't think many guys are, especially guys good that train gi and no gi, specifically for IBJJF, probably don't even touch the legs.
It's gonna be.
They're playing some catch up. Yeah.
Well, it's gonna be a good time for the people that do know their legs.
Yeah.
Because everyone's gonna be wanting to update their software. I mean, like, I think it was Gordon who said this, but like schools trained by the rules that are out there. In the school I went to, used to train in Boulder. We trained it by IBJJF rules. So if you were a purple belt and you tried to toe hold somebody, you know, you'd be taught, hey, don't do that. Why? You are a purple belt and you do not know how to use toe holds yet. So when I became a brown belt, I remember looking off at No-Gi Worlds when I was there in 2015, and I just saw 6 of the 12 matches, just guys diving on toe holds and knee bars. Like, oh shoot, wow! I think these are important. And you know, never really got a clear study of the leg locks. I mean, dude, I didn't even study I did not even study heel hook defense appropriately until well into black belt. Like 2017 ADCC trials, man, I got heel hooked in the second round.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's tough, bro.
Yeah.
Do you have like a favorite rule set to compete under?
Dude, ADCC. I feel that, like, I mean, dude, if you've got a wrestling background, if you feel that you can make every second on the feet worse for the person you're standing against than you, like, I mean, dude, I like the ADCC rule set.
Yeah, that suits me pretty well. It suits most wrestlers pretty well.
Yeah. I would actually have a question for you, though. In that first pointless period, you know, when it's submission only, are you trying to do takedowns to enforce your will on somebody? You're just trying to heavy hand fight? Like, what's going through your mind?
I want to get him. I want to get him tired. So if we're doing, you know, ADCC World Championships is, I think, what, 10 and 10, right? Or what?
Oh, the final is 20 and 10-10.
20, 10, 10. Okay.
Yeah.
And then regular matches are what? 5 and 5 with a 5-minute overtime.
Yeah, and dude, 80%. Well, it's got to be like
80% goes to overtime.
Yeah,
vast
so
majority
15,
goes overtime.
So 15-minute match, right? I think for me, the best way to do it is I usually just try to get the guy tired. If he stands with me, it's going to be fairly easy because I'm gonna out a hand fight and scramble everyone. So that's an easy win. And then when they pull guard, yeah,
It's true.
sorry, I'm just overly confident.
Everyone out there, bro, check the fucking stats.
And pretty much when they pull guard, my plan would be to imply some knee cuts that don't get me in trouble as far as keeping distance, or like if I have a clear way to score, I'll completely commit to the knee cut. And just a lot of hand fighting from when they're pulling guard as well. I'm yanking on the head. I'm kind of arm dragging, and I wanted to get them as tired as possible because you're a different person when you get those guys tired. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's much easier to score and obviously get to submission
Yeah.
when they're dead. So.
Hey, Nick, when you knee cup, are you basically like launching your knee on someone's stomach?
No, more like through.
Okay.
Like through the stomach.
Like you ever just like land on someone and just
actually, Vinny Magalesh, our first match in Kasai.
Isn't that how you?
Yeah, he like quit the tournament after our match.
Yeah.
Like
He didn't just, dude. He sat in the same seat for 7 hours. Like yours, that was one of the first fights of the night, and then he like laid on turtle for 5. It was one of the weirdest things. That whole Kasai, which all 3 of us were there, was
an odd.
That was an
experience.
odd. I had a fantastic time.
Yeah.
that was one of my favorite tournaments ever.
Yeah,
but like,
it was one of my favorite tournaments too.
Yeah.
But I got fucked because of the rule set.
yes, sir.
Or because of technicalities, some happened. Yeah.
But I just couldn't believe he just sat in the same chair for 7 hours. Like it was something cracked up there.
It was because I'm knee cutting so hard that like when my shin slides on your thigh, I try to break your femur. Is that the right bone?
Yeah.
I try to break your femur with my shin. So I'm going through you while knee cutting. So he got a couple of those and he was like, "Yeah, I'm done." Yeah.
It was strange to see, dude.
Yeah,
Like, bro, I didn't sign up for MMA tonight, bro. He's like, I just signed up for jiu-jitsu.
Yeah.
And then I saw him like 2 weeks later at SUG, and he kind of just sat. We did like a tag team match with me and Craig.
Yeah.
And he kind of just sat on Kyle Bohm's toes, and I couldn't like really attack because Kyle was gonna hop on my back, and fucking jiu-jitsu, dog.
Yeah. Yeah, it's strange stuff, dude. The rule sets and whatnot.
Yeah, you got anything coming up?
I was gonna do a competition next weekend, but that got canceled, which is good because I'm not in the best of shape right now. The past couple months have been pretty chaotic. I'm finally, stable, as we talked about down there with Guy at Studio 84. And things have been good the past couple weeks, but it's going to take, I think, a week or 2 more till I can really get things going. I got to sign up at a local weightlifting gym. I got to set my schedule. I got to get some blackout curtains. I got to, get the meal prep down. Like there's all these different little planks in the foundation that, got to be nailed into place. And then once that's all set, Guy has the
Make your own schedule, right? Like I'm the same way. I have to, once I get my schedule, as long as I have a schedule, I'll stick to it. Once things get fucked up, it messes up. Yeah, I gotta be consistent.
Yeah. Well, yeah, and you got to keep yourself honest to it, man. And that's something that I've noticed with Guy. He's just always working every moment of the dang day.
Yeah.
And,
Well, the guy's name is Guy.
Yes.
Okay, cool.
Guy Mion.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
I wasn't sure.
Gitano.
Gitano.
Okay. Gitano is his first name, but I just call him Guy.
Italian?
Yeah, it's much easier, Guy.
Yeah.
Stick with that.
Yeah, we'll just go with Guy. Yeah.
Yeah, I almost had a match in BJ Bet, right? They offered me like a couple bucks to go out there to Brazil and compete, and I was like, I really don't want to go to Brazil. And I was talking to a guy. I was like, yeah, like jokingly, I was like, dude, I don't want to get stabbed when I'm out there. And he was like, oh, like I got stabbed when I'm out there. And he was like he was trying to convince me to go. I was like, no, like you're literally the example of why I shouldn't go. Because I was just out on vacation and they fucking got mugged or some shit like that.
Yeah, of course, bro.
Yeah.
Dude, that's why, like, if you go, as I was talking, Marcelo Cohen was talking. He's like, yeah, you just take all your stuff, you put it in the hotel room. You take $320 with you. You take like 3 currency. You put them in different places, and you go out and have a good day. You just give them one if they come by. Like
that's how it is, huh?
That's part of how it is. Yeah.
Yeah. Except for when the gun goes off on accident, they just fucking kill
But
you.
you want to make sure you just don't have anything they can take. And like you just give them everything you have. Like they're not going to kill. They don't want to be in trouble. They just want to take what you have. 'Cause, dude, like like we have a lot of problems. We have a lot of inequality, but like the inequality in Brazil is we can't even imagine, dude. I can't even imagine it. So
people complain about the U.S., but we still, as fucked up as things seem, we still have it the best.
we have problems, but I'd much rather be here than anywhere else. on
Yeah.
Earth.
Oh fuck yeah, dude. Nowhere else.
Yeah, man.
I do fuck with Canada, but I don't think I could stay there full time.
They got their issues too. It's probably not dangerous in Canada. I don't know. You been up there?
No, I'd like to go in the summer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fuck that in the winter though.
Just a bunch of people
thank
offering you like weird types of meats, bro, like elk, you know, like what else is out there, bro?
I tried.
Big shit.
I had an elk hot dog when I was in Alaska. Yeah,
Good?
Good. Yeah, it was good. Yeah, it was very good. Yeah.
Probably just real meat. It's because like hot dogs you get here are kind of like just
It's
mix
just
of whatever.
Like Joe Rogan said, like, the best way to eat your meat is to go out and eat something that's been living in nature and untouched by humanity and kill it without it ever knowing, and then be grateful to the world and use every part of it. And, dude, his
That's definitely the best way to do it.
elk and jalapenos, man. That's like man.
Very natural.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
Have you ever tried that meat and jalapenos? It's actually pretty fucking bomb.
Yeah, well, I joking to talk because you use that like big knife you got, and then you like cut a piece of steak, and then
It's like a $1,200 knife John gave me. And I'm using it to eat my steak.
That's what he expected, bro, right?
I guess. Maybe he probably expect me to like hang it up or something, and I'm using that shit like.
Hey, dude, that's you are using it for its purpose, right?
Yeah.
Like tools have many purposes, and one's to make your food.
Yep.
It's one of the most important things you can use a tool for.
Very true.
Yeah.
What's your diet like?
I showed you the picture before, right? The past 24 hours have been rough. So one of Guy's good friends, Teddy, took us out to this Italian restaurant in Atlantic City, and I ate a lot of food. I had lamb. It was a great meal, and then we went to this sugar factory and had this giant sundae. And
You get the drinks there too, bro. They have like dry ice in the bottom of their cups.
yeah, they did.
It's just the coolest thing, man.
Yeah, bubbles.
Yeah, it bubbles, bro.
Could you drink that?
Yeah.
Oh,
you just
I didn't know.
You just can't inhale it.
Oh.
Because the carbon dioxide coming off the dry ice will fucking
Bro,
black out.
Well, this one time in a chemistry lab at CU Boulder, like they one of the experiments was to breathe in carbon dioxide, and so like
Wow, sounds healthy.
yeah, so like they had this big like cylinder that was full of it, and I like turned it on. I turned it on, and I just like I just got an instant head rush, and I was like, oh, that was a bad idea.
Wow.
Like, how much can you inhale before you pass out, bro? You know?
Well, dude, it's like not like, dude, like if it's pure carbon dioxide, like if you just breathe a full lung of it,
You don't have long, bro.
you'll pass out because
You'll
like
pass out.
like oxygen's supposed to be 45, like no, it's not 45, 25%, and if it's like 45% CO2 and nitrogen, then you're just
Poison. Yeah. That's rough.
yeah. Oh man. Yeah, but yeah. Not even sure we got in the carbon dioxide. Yeah, I kind of did that one randomly.
Just rolling into it. Shit happens.
Yeah.
So I heard this rumor. I don't know if it's true or not. That you do something that's called a microdose. It's false.
Ooh.
It's false advertisement.
False advertisement.
Now
I wouldn't say that I have done this in particular, but I've definitely done a lot of research on it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So you're very knowledgeable on the topic.
Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Now I've heard of actually many people trying this out and having success with it.
Have you ever tried it?
No.
Oh.
But I'm curious. I'm definitely curious because
NickyRod on psychedelics is terrifying, bro.
dude. What if I panicked? You know what I mean? Like I would fucking probably kill somebody if I thought you were like an evil. You know what I mean?
You won't get it. I mean, dude, the worst things that can happen are you just lock yourself in a room and you lay on the floor and you make weird noises.
Yeah.
I don't know, bro. I've allegedly heard of a kid on acid, bro, who like tried to attack a bunch of his friends.
Really?
Yeah, I saw this.
Probably acid plus mental issues will probably make for something like that. You know?
I know a guy who saw this firsthand, bro.
Yeah. Well, I think it's like there is like some chance that you could have a really bad reaction to it, but I most of what I've read at the microdose level, it's not going to.
Now, so we all know that dude Cal Bohm, right, did like a mushroom before his match, right?
Yes.
Now,
Against who, bro? Who did you fight on mushrooms?
When he fought Gordon.
No way.
Yeah, supposedly he did that before match. Obviously it didn't go his way, but what would be the benefit of doing something like that?
Well, you're fighting Gordon and you last he lasted like 15 minutes. He lasted a long time, all right? Or is it like 5?
I don't know. I don't remember, but
it was the goal to last long, bro.
Is that where we're at now? The goal is to get submitted not that fast.
Against Gordon, bro. I mean, what else can you do?
Right?
Yeah,
Like,
not sign the contract. I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, like, dude, what after what he did to Matthias? Yeah, I think it's kind of a calm down.
ADCC world champ, and treated him he looked like a fucking blue belt. You know what I mean? Yeah. And he's one of the best fucking grapplers out there.
Yeah,
One of, bro.
Yeah. No, you can't. Yeah, it's evidence is there. I mean, who else besides Matthias Denise is next?
I mean, I don't know.
He's gotta take on someone like Gavo.
The only argument is it's like a Galvo or like a Penna, but I mean, there's been years that's passed since a match like that.
Yeah, they're two very different grapplers now.
Yeah.
That match that was in 2016, right? That was I remember watching that too, and it was a very competitive match, and that was like Gordon has changed a bit since then, 2017, 2019.
You know how I would love to see him fight dudes, Dylan Donis.
Nah, let's not even bring him up.
Because he would get paid, bro. He would get paid a fat.
I guess it would be people probably tune in to watch.
Yeah, I mean for jiu-jitsu that'd be good.
Tune in to watch for Dylan to pretty much get beat up.
And Dylan would just get smacked, bro. And then the BJJ community would look like.
Is he still training?
I mean,
dude, I saw a picture of him with Gordon, and he looked like a twig. Like
I mean, I wonder. Probably most of the people probably think Dylan Dennis would win because he's got more followers. I don't think the masses know.
I doubt.
That's what I'm saying, bro. It would educate the masses real fast, bro.
Yeah.
Real fast.
I doubt educated jiu-jitsu fans, though.
Yeah. That
the 500,000 that follow Flow Grappling would know what's up.
Yeah. Very true. Very true.
Yeah.
I mean, who else, bro? Who else would be good for him? I mean, maybe like a UFC guy would be cool.
I mean, you're just talking lower level jiu-jitsu though.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, like the best MMA grapplers. Can't really hang with like the average, black belts.
Oh, well, I mean, like Cyborg asked to face him, but I mean, Gordon's he prefers no time limit, right?
Yeah, but fuck, man. I mean, you're talking now. He can take his time, he's probably going to invest, maybe 20, 25 minutes into just getting you tired, and then invest another 10 minutes into to making you look like fucking like a fool, and then just whenever he wants, he's gonna submit you. You know?
Yeah.
Pretty much what happens in practice. So
You're like, fuck, man. Yeah, this time.
Everybody that goes with Gord, we walk up, we're like, all right, time to fight for our fucking lives.
Yeah. Dude, there's something I'm real excited. I've been taking classes from John, but I've tried to study a lot of his DVDs. It's just like the short-term memory for all of us is a very small machine, but like your long-term memory is like has almost infinite capacity. Yeah. And like, dude, to just try and process the few DVDs that I've gone through, I've probably been through 15 of them, but like it's just a ridiculous amount of information. Like it's hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of pages of notes and different.
They hit all the details that everybody misses.
Yeah, that's the thing. But like, dude, I haven't trained with him much, but I don't think he's particularly fast or agile.
No,
he just fucking has the like ding 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 like his propositions.
He has a couple athletic attributes, right? His ability to hold a squeeze or hold a stagnant position is extraordinary. His precision and timing, which go hand in hand, is also extraordinary. Yeah. If you're talking, can he do a fucking cartwheel? No. Does he look good when he's wrestling? No. Does he look like he's going to trip over himself? Yes, constantly. Now I've come to learn, that there's many athletes, especially in the wrestling world, that weren't particularly athletic that became athletic. Thus, they became better at wrestling. Yeah. Now, I don't think Gordon ever became athletic. I think he's still unathletic. But he's phenomenal timing, great ability to hold like that stagnant strength, and then obviously knowledge upon knowledge.
Yeah. Which there's a lot of it, dude, and most people don't know like a fraction of it.
Like if you're teaching at Kimura, it's to the naked eye, it seems like a fairly simple, submission. But if you talk to John, you talk to Gordon, then they can go into the complexities of it, and it's just
dude, just bridging.
Yeah,
like dude, I bet like 80% of black belts wouldn't know how to side-to-side bridge the right way. Like that, like the drilling DVD put out, like that. That's almost as important as anything else that he has any one of his DVDs. Like just how to move your body properly.
Yep. Yeah. I mean, in his most recent match, you're talking with Mateus, he's bridged a couple times, but it wasn't super technical.
Yeah.
It's more of a just like trying to muscle it out, and that probably works on everybody. You know what I mean? Everybody that gets on top of him, that probably works on.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Is he doing it wrong, or is he just gotta? I don't know. It's fucking. There's levels, man. There's fucking levels.
Yeah.
How long you been grappling for?
So I started wrestling in 2005 at summer conditioning practice at my high school when I went from middle school to high school. So I started that when I was 14, then started jiu-jitsu on and off in 2007 a little bit, had a couple matches, as a wrestler, got submitted a few times. And then after high school, went to CU Boulder. In the second semester, I found jiu-jitsu. So that was in 2010. Started with Eastern Training Center. And continued to wrestle into 2012. Until 2011, I All-American for CU Boulder.
Oh, damn.
Yeah. The NCWA level, so club wrestling.
Yeah.
I got fourth at nationals. And 2012, did an All-American, had a really rough tournament. And 2 weeks after that, jumped into IBJJF Pans in 2012.
Yeah.
And that was when I got my first piece of cauliflower ear. And since then...
In the tournament.
Yeah.
That's what's up.
Yeah, I was trying to get out of a triangle and you got a real big one, man. Yeah,
I think for cauliflower ear, jiu-jitsu is way worse than wrestling. Yeah. Because you can get in wrestling, you can get a bunch of ways, taking a shot, you'll catch a knee, you catch a hip, or hand fighting constantly, that'll fuck you up. But in jiu-jitsu, if you get into submission, it's like a slow grind of the ear instead of like an initial like pop or bang. So I think it breaks way worse and breaks way more frequently. Like, yeah, it's fucking, it's tough. I'm not a fan of obviously the cauliflower ear looks good, but dude, trying to sleep, like ridiculous. I had at one time on both ears. So I had to lay like on my back. I couldn't go left or right at all.
Yeah. Well, I found it was like a 3 to 4 year transition from when they were hurting a lot to when they finally, now at the point they're healed pretty well. Yeah. Do you still get issues with them from time to time?
They'll break it occasionally. Yeah. Usually, now they'll break like smaller, like in smaller pieces. But before I had like the whole thing was cauliflower, it would break like maybe an inch or so, and it'd be my whole ear will fucking swell up and go like that. But now just like a corner or something will break on it. Yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah, no, it's tough. I mean, right now my headphones are like barely fucking fitting. If they get any bigger, I'm gonna have to get them like fucking filed down. Yeah, there's not much they can do for it either. I mean,
no, there really isn't. It's just cartilage, man.
Yeah, it's just fucking cartilage.
Yeah. Well, I'm grateful for him. I mean, I've known probably the way I get the most trouble with them is like double legs pushing with the head there.
Yeah.
Like that, the front part of my ear gets pretty bad. But apart from that, dude, I don't really have that many issues with them anymore.
Do you implement a lot of wrestling in your jiu-jitsu now?
Yes. Well, so in Boulder, from 2012 until 2017, I wrestled under this guy, Leister Bowling, who does a lot of the club wrestling in Colorado. He's a local celebrity there. He's like one of the best wrestlers that's ever came up through your system, and studied with him. And then after he retired, this wrestling coach, Dave Zabriskie, who wrestled at Iowa State when Cale Sanderson was there, he became a national champ his senior year, really high credentials, still trains with Cale every now and then. He's the head coach for Elevation Fight Team's wrestling program. Mm-hmm. And when he started to show up, that was when I really started to pick up a lot more wrestling stuff. And then, at the ADCC trials that, West Coast 2019, a lot of it was wrestling based, man. I mean, there's a few well-timed takedowns that led to me, getting some good stuff. And a lot of it was the things that he had talked about, like underhook to the knee, put him up the arm, like just the basics of wrestling. And so since then, I haven't been studying that anywhere near as much as I ought. But definitely now that, at Studio 84, I'm going to be trying to get as much wrestling work in as I can, and probably try to spend a lot more time just drilling it, like just flow, trying to get the motions down, and still do live training, of course, but try to really emphasize the technique. Yeah,
that's good. Yeah, that's really good. If you get the pick right, what would you pick for a time limit on a match? Sub only match. What's your preferred time limit?
Probably 15.
15 minutes?
Yeah, I mean, it's ADCC right there. Yeah. I feel like if it goes past 15, it might as well just have no time limit.
Yeah. Okay.
I can see that.
Yeah. How about yourself? What are you thinking?
I think like a 6. I honestly like a size setup. Yeah. I mean, if you're talking like getting a submission or winning judge decision, right?
Yeah.
I'd say for me, it'd be easier to win a judge's decision on a 6-minute match. Easier to get a submission in a 15-minute match.
Yeah, absolutely.
6 minutes, I'll just go balls to the wall. I can kill myself in 6 minutes. You know what I mean? And all alone killing myself with cardio wise, I'll kill you in the same process. So, but 15 minutes definitely. I think that's perfect. I think that's enough time to break down your partner, get them nice and soft, and then going for the kill from there.
Yeah. Yeah, heck yeah. Now, I mean, definitely, if I was running a like the Kumite type thing that you were in, or I forget what Kasai called it, but or tournament style, definitely 6 minutes. If it's Grand Prix style like Copa Podio, 6 minutes is probably the best for fans. I think 6 minutes is the best.
Just push the action, right?
Well, yeah, because I mean, you have that ability. Like, there's going to be 2 or 3, points where people can really go 100%, and there's no. If it's a 15-minute match, you got to pace yourself. Like if it's the 40-minute 80cc final. You're going to see hand fighting for 12 minutes.
Yeah.
That's what it's going to take to win that match. But if it's a 6-minute match, like, I'm going to pull a card and I'm going to go for it, bro.
Yeah.
Try to submit you ASAP.
You're the pull guard kind of guy?
If it's submission only and it's 6 minutes and I'm like trying to make something happen.
It's easier to get a submission when you start pulling guard, right?
Yeah.
Like 100%. Yeah. Like it's harder to get submission if your goal is like I'm already on top, I'm gonna pass, and then hopefully he turtles or I catch an arm or something like that.
Yeah. Yeah. My most recent was I did a subversive in the gi, my first gi competition in more than a year. And dude, I just like approached it. I didn't really train much in the gi, and I was like, I'm gonna pull guard. I'm gonna try to take their back. I'm gonna see what happens. The first guy, I basically did that and did well. The second guy, knee barred me really bad. It's like I got a deep De La Hiva hook, and I was like, oh, this is great. And then he grabbed a toe hold. And the worst part of it was I looked at Gary Tonon's like escaping DVD on toe holds like 48 hours before, but forgot all of it.
Wow,
So,
that's great.
Like my defense was to look at the toe hold and straighten my leg because I remembered that. And like, oh man, this is bad. And then
What's after that? Yeah.
his hips moved over and he got a knee bar. And I needed to grab his leg. I needed to rotate one way and pull his knee the other. I mean, like now I know what I needed to do. But in the moment, it was just like, look at it and panic.
Yeah.
And then
Just watch, bro.
Yeah, exactly. Like, oh yeah, this is bad. And then, my knee started to go back and I was like, okay, tap. But so it obviously sucks, but it was just good experience there. And the gi is a little different, but it wasn't because the gi I got caught. It's because I didn't manage the transition from toe hold to knee bar. Got caught there.
I have to eventually have to pull guard.
Like I'm say that, bro. Come on, you gotta stay true to yourself.
I feel like my percentage of submission will just go way up if I'm either coming up or I'm just trying to finish to legs or play triangles and shit like that. I don't know. I do have some success in practice when I'm like on my back.
Yeah, when we trained.
Yeah. And I don't know. I just don't know when I'm going to be ready to like do that in the best guys in the world in the heavyweight weight class. You know what I mean? And I don't like it's different. Like if I pull guard on Gordon, like he doesn't do the same things that these other guys do. You know what I mean? Yeah. So it's like
that's what I kind of noticed with a lot in that heavyweight tournament, especially, is like there's a lot of guys that like you pull guard, like you get on bottom, they just try to do turn and circle, and they're not going to really do a whole lot.
Yeah,
like no engaging at all. It's weird.
No.
Yeah.
No. They want you to engage and catch you fucking up. You know what I mean? But if you're not going to be fucking up, then you'll be all right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Are you a guy right before your match? Are you getting a game plan prior, or do you just go in and?
Usually I've just gone in. I think now that I actually know a bit more jiu-jitsu, in terms of like actually having like the overall, like what I'm actually trying to go after in a position. Like there's a lot of information like on the passing DVD that John Danaher produced. Like there's just a lot of I knew that like it's important to get the foot in between your legs on a knee slice. I didn't understand that that's the opening gambit for it. But like if you're trying to do a knee slice, you have to stuff the foot, then everything can begin from there.
Yeah.
But like I would never teach that detail, and I would do it because I would knee slice. But like when you start looking for that and see like, oh, their foot's in between my legs, boom, knee slice. Oh, wow.
Yeah.
And then there's like so many other different bits of information that guide your action. And if you don't know the bits to guide your action, you're going to act randomly. And a lot of people do great with that. But like when you have the ideas behind your actions, like the whole idea of like strategy, tactics, strategies, what you're trying to go for, tactics, or how you implement that. A lot of us don't have the strategy and have random tactics that we, kind of work at random. But because most of us just don't know jiu-jitsu, right?
That's a fair point.
Yeah. I mean, dude, like I got to black belt. I won Pan Am's at brown belt in the gi. Like I didn't know a lot of jiu-jitsu, bro. Like I didn't know any guard. I did single legs and guillotines on bottom. I could hit a few toreandos. I had a really good guillotine. And I could kind of retain my guard a little bit, but that's all I needed. And I was able to smash through people. Like Asake Braz, who's really good at black belt. He's been a multiple-time world champion. I managed to get him in a guillotine after like throwing him with
Did you get him in the comatine?
Yes, I did.
Yo, so I got to see this firsthand, dude.
yeah.
I got to see this firsthand. It's amazing. It's a signature move, bro. He's the only jiu-jitsu guy I know with a signature move. Comatine.
Well, you know what's funny about that
Patented.
is...
That's a beautiful name as well.
It is, right?
Yeah, Ricardo Amendola was the guy who coined that back in Copa Podio. But what's really interesting is the other guys known for guillotines, Marcelo Garcia and Josh Hinger. Both of them have a percentage rate of total submissions of about 15 to 16% guillotines.
Damn.
Mine is 52% guillotines.
Oh, wow. So fantastic guillotine.
Like the skill levels in the guillotine far exceed like just about any other part of my game.
Who's the best guy you've guillotined?
That's a good question. Asake, Tanoko, Jared Dopp are the three ones that stand out. There's probably another one or two. William Tackett.
Oh, Tackett, young Tackett.
Yeah.
Also,
dude, he is on
that's a big win because he's on a run right now.
Oh, he
man.
is on a run, dude. I saw him doing that's his snatch, right?
Yeah.
Dude, just with like perfect form in a picture, like toes up, bar in the proper position, elbows out, spine set up, and I'm like, I gotta get to working really hard right now, man. Oh my god.
He's young, man. He's young. He's coming up.
Young, driven.
Oh, was he 18, 19, man?
I think 18.
Yeah,
19?
19, yeah. Oh, big difference. Oh, my God. Yeah. But he's 19. His little brother, Andrew, is 17. And then I believe their youngest, Caleb, is 13.
Yeah.
And dude, it's just a martial arts family, man. Like, they're doing some really amazing things down there, working really hard.
Yeah.
And
That's good.
Yeah, let's inspire. I mean, the more everybody out there is working hard, the harder everyone else is going to be field driven. I'm sure you guys every day are busting out in the blue basement, right?
Surviving in the blue basement. Yeah.
Dude, I'm trying to get it done. Like I said, I got to get that foundation set. I got to get to my schedule and stay honest to it.
Are you training every day?
No.
How often?
I mean, if you count the classes that I've taught, then it's like I'm obviously on the mat every day. But I've probably had 4 sessions in the past 7 days that I've been here.
Oh, okay.
And like trying to get other things in. Studying a lot. I've been studying a lot.
Studying jiu-jitsu.
Yeah, the instructionals.
Yeah. Well, what else do you have going on besides teaching? Like, how often are you teaching actually?
So I'll teach. I usually join him on Mondays. I teach the nights, Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays, and then Wednesdays I'll take Jay's class. Sorry, I get him confused sometimes. His class, I'll usually help with the noon class on Wednesday, and then Friday I'll usually stay and do the noon and the afternoon class with him as well.
That's what's up.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you're on the mats every day, just not going live per se every day.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. I mean, I'm basically there to help Guy with his kids program primarily. That's the main reason that I'm there.
Yeah.
And his adults classes as well to an extent.
That's what's up.
Yeah, between Jay and myself and Guy, we each teach 2 of the Jiu-Jitsu advanced all levels classes.
Okay.
Yeah. Cool. Yeah. So it's kind of like all 3 of us kind of have an equal say in the Jiu-Jitsu we're trying to do, which, man, all 3 of them are great teachers. And, Jay especially, man, I really, appreciate the things that he has to say. I like his curriculum, how he builds on his classes moving forward. I have a tendency of just showing one thing and then going to another, and not trying to thread everything together.
Yeah. You almost want to teach. For us at least, we kind of just mimic, John. Honestly, how his style, how he can pronounce words and shit like that. Mm-hmm. Even try to adapt that accent if we have to. Gotta get paid. You feel me?
Tremendous breaking power.
Exactly.
And then for everyone who wants to train with Jay or Guy, where's that gym at? Where are they located at?
So Studio 84 is located in Cream Ridge, New Jersey. It's about an hour south of here.
Yeah.
On the magic toll roads.
The turnpike.
Y'all guys have the turnpike. That's it. Yeah.
The toll roads. They charge you so much to fucking drive in Jersey. Honestly, it cost me like $100 a day when I was when I was taking the turnpike, all the way up here. Oh my god! Because I was doing like 130 miles one way.
Wow.
So, yeah.
Committed.
Oh yeah.
Bro.
Gotta do what you gotta do.
Yeah, man. Yeah. That's a damn impressive drive. And you're going through these toll roads are insane, dude. We don't have in Colorado they have express lanes, so you can get in a lane and you can buy time that way, but by and large, they don't have roads. They're dude, if you try not to use the toll road and you go from where I'm at to the airport, it takes you 40 more minutes, dude.
Wow. What's your closest airport?
Newark.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Same.
Yeah, come up here.
Yeah, that's what's up. Yeah. So no competition. So what's your competition coming up?
Potentially Halloween, might do a subversive.
Subversive.
Yeah.
Oh, a team tournament. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I think Seth's getting on that because I know with Fight to Win Pro, Seth does all the matchmaking. Like literally every match that you see and every poster that you see, Seth physically does that.
Yeah.
So it's one guy doing a lot of work.
Who's going to be on your team?
Probably Guy, myself, maybe, and then you need a female, so maybe Amanda Lev. I don't think I really, since she here's the first year, when Guy and I were talking about this, and maybe we'll talk to Jay. We'll see what she's doing on that night. But it's a plus 180, a minus 180, and a female grappler, and then your group of 3 goes against another group of 3, and the first to win 2 moves on.
So best try at 3, I guess. Okay, cool.
What's the match format? Like as in
Fight to Win Pro rules.
Okay, what's the time?
Fudge. That's a good question. 8 minutes.
Oh, 8 minutes per
Maybe
match.
6. Yeah,
And
I think 6.
And you have to sub to stay in.
Or they do their decision.
Oh, okay, and
Yeah.
you stay in, or you?
No, there's no ties.
Oh, no ties.
No ties. Yeah, so it's just one and done. Yeah, I see what you're saying. No, it's one. It's not like a quintet where like you can like totally wreck somebody's team. You don't want to do that at some
You go 5-0. Yeah, I thought you meant it was that style. I think that's the best. I think that's a cool way to do it, honestly.
Yes. No, I think it's a good style, but with the subversive, what they managed to do with that is you can get a lot of teams in one tournament. So they had 16 different teams in a bracket, and they because it's only 3 fights, right? And sometimes it's only going to be 2 fights, and so a large number of teams can come together, have an event, and the streaming potential for that's pretty big because there's a bunch of different teams and high level grapplers. So.
That sounds like fun.
No, it's a lot, and that's the thing. It's like meant to be a fun event. Like there was supposed to be an after party there and a bunch, but then because people wanted to get out because of the corona. And but it is a really good idea for like a party type atmosphere and getting a bunch of different teams involved in there.
Where's it going to be at?
Philly.
Oh, in Philly.
Oh, dude, they're posting up. They rented a house, and Fight to Win Pro is going to be here for about 6 weeks. So,
wow.
Yeah,
That's what's up.
yeah. If you got anybody you want to call out, you don't have to do it here, but I'm sure they'd be happy to host a few matches with you.
Yeah, I definitely want to compete soon. So.
Yeah. Well, dude, they'll Halloween, and then I think until the 3rd. No, I think maybe in the 4th. No, I think the 3 weeks in November because there's Halloween, not Halloween, Thanksgiving. Excuse me. Yeah. But they'll be here for the next 6 weeks, bro.
Yeah. Halloween is coming up though. Are you a haunted house kind of guy?
I've done a few of those. I like them, but I get a little offset if it's like a person that like jump scares me any more than like 3 feet within my bubble, and like that bugs me a little bit. But I do enjoy a good haunted house, but like I don't like the jump scares in my face.
I like it. If you scare me, I'd be happy. Like, cause I'm pretty. I go in there because I like the direction, the fucking decorations and shit. I appreciate the quality of the stuff. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But like, if you actually scared me, I'd be impressed because I kind of tend to anticipate it. You know what I mean? Because I know when you're coming. So if you get me when I'm not looking, I usually just run away. Actually, my big ass will be gone.
Okay, try to scare NickyRod. Okay, I got
Dude,
a mission.
When I was in, I think it's called Horror Nights in Orlando. I go in there, and they actually got me a couple times because it was like one was like a Stranger Things kind of ordeal, and a few other ones. And there's people like walking around the street, so you don't always expect them. Mm-hmm. So it's good. Yeah, definitely would recommend. I actually flew to Orlando just to do that. 'Cause I was like,
Really?
Yeah, it was a good time. Good time.
Bro,
they turn Universal Studios into 6 haunted houses.
Actually, I did something just like that at Knott's Berry Farm in Los Angeles. Yeah, that was a lot of fun. But that was where the people got in my bubble.
Oh, I feel you.
You guys gonna do Fright Fest at Six Flags?
That was
thing, bro.
Yeah, that was exactly.
That was big.
Yeah,
That's good.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Lots of candy, bro.
Okay.
Yeah.
Too much. It's too much candy.
Yeah, but is it like scary?
It's decently scary.
Yeah, like you went inside all the attractions.
Yeah. I mean, as an 8-year-old, bro, it's pretty terrifying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know?
Okay. Yeah.
Go back now. I don't know.
Never know.
I'd probably still be scared.
That's probably right. Yeah.
Horror's good, but probably not my favorite thing to go out and do. But you are going to these in an attempt to feel scared, but it's very difficult to make you feel scared.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I just do it. It's a fun night out. It's something different. You know what I mean? Comes around once a year. Yeah, I do a lot of different shit. Like weekends, I'll play fucking paintball, go ride their bikes, whatever.
Nice. I have noticed there's at least there's one paintball place that I drive past on my way from, as I live with Guy in Forked. I thought it's Forked River as well.
Oh yeah.
But I hear then that Forked River. I'm still gonna call it Forked River, but I guess you can call it Forked River. Like, and when you drive from there to Cream Ridge, you go back to this Cousins paintball place.
Oh, Cousins.
yeah,
I've heard of it.
Cousins, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You been in there?
Yeah. Cousins Skirmish, bro.
Good spot?
Skirmish is the best spot ever. If anyone
is
plays
in
paintball,
PA, right?
Yeah, Skirmish is deep, but they got castles. They got an abandoned helicopter one where it's they literally crashed a helicopter basically and set up a bunch of shit around it. It looks like Call of Duty, bro.
Oh, shit.
Feels like Call of Duty. They have like 40 on 40 games to defend the castle.
Yeah.
It's insane, bro. It's insane.
Yeah. I definitely, I think I'm going to check out Cousins.
Yeah.
That's kind of close.
Cousins is good. Skirmish is OG.
I went to Top Gun, then I think
Yeah.
that's like 5 miles from Cousins. Right next to each other.
But they got no speedball.
No speedball?
No speedball. It's all outdoor, all woods ball.
Yeah. You ever play paintball?
Once I did do some paintball. Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you fuck with airsoft?
Yeah, I did that a few times
Yeah.
too. Yeah, I got shot in the back a couple times. It was great. And,
Bro, I got shot back in the kneecap once, dude. It's the worst. Right in the back of the kneecap.
Paintball's the shit, though. It's like Warzone with real life.
yeah,
And you get unlimited lives because you're not actually dying.
just a little paint.
Yeah, you a video game guy?
I'm not online, but there are a couple that I do like playing that I kind of nerd out a little bit.
Yeah.
What do you like playing?
I mean, I hop on Warzone here and there.
Nice.
Yeah.
I can see you playing Skyrim.
So I did do a Morrowind. Do you ever hear that?
Okay.
No.
That's an older
Yeah,
game.
yeah.
That's an RPG I like. At some point, I do want to give it because like to beat that main quest the way you're supposed to, it takes like 70 hours or something.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
just a crazy amount of crap that you have to do. And like back in the day, there were no guides or anything.
Yeah.
So like,
Just had to figure it
you
out.
Just had to figure it out. I never could, so I would never really get far in the dang game at all. I'd play it all the time and never get close to even beating it. But the two games that I play nowadays. Well, I don't play Stellaris much anymore, and that was like a galactic. Oh God, it's so nerdy, but like you conquer the galaxy was the whole idea behind it.
Word.
Yeah, you just like take everything. And then the other one, the game that I haven't played it recently, but it's the most recent is this thing called Subnautica.
Okay.
Really interesting idea. It's like you're on like a Star Trek spaceship, you crash land on a planet, you're the only survivor. And so you have to use the planet's resources to create crafts and find food and get water.
Do you think the time will ever come in human history where we'll have to hop on another planet?
Without a doubt, bro. I just saw a report the other day, bro. It's like by 2070, 2080, we'll be dead.
I feel like they were saying that like in 2012, like in 2012, we're supposed to all die.
So, I mean, there are a few perspectives on that you want to take into account. There's one guy that I think he was in the Joe Rogan podcast, but he talked about how like we are facing problems. Anytime you take something and you make it an existential crisis, like right now, if you look at the election, like, I don't want to get anywhere too much into politics besides this one endeavor, but like each side is making an existential argument.
Yeah.
Why? Because there's bullshit. There's nothing actually being talked about there. So they're talking about this like life and death struggle that, if we don't do this, we're going to die. We're going to die. But like, what about a little Medicare for all? Like, what about actually giving some people money that need? Oh, no. Oh, we're just talking about life and death so we can ignore the actual issues.
Yeah.
That's what this is like with climate change. Like, it's not like there's this one giant dragon in the sky that's going to come burn us down. It's like 120 different issues.
Yeah.
Like there's like the different sort of gases that are going into the side. There's methane that's happening. There's different, how we produce energy. We have all this money invested in oil infrastructure. There's a lot of different problems. But when we take this existential approach to it and we're just like, are we going to die because of this? Like, well, maybe. But we have a bunch of problems that we need to solve, and there are solutions to these problems. There's fascinating stuff that people are making right now. I forget the name of the channel, but it's this really like soft-spoken English guy, and he did a video. Have you heard of Michael Moore's Planet of the Humans?
Yes.
Yes. So he did a video, and I'll send you this because it'll make you feel better. And he did a response to that, and he was just like, there's some problems here, but there's some really promising things that people are inventing. What we need to do is, try to, like Michael Moore was saying, like, things are dire. They're not as bad as he was saying.
Yeah.
Like, well, who knows, dude? Like, nobody knows the future. Like, and there
Anything could happen.
Anything could happen. But, by making it an existential threat and talking about it and then giving it this fear, it gives the power over us when, in fact, we need to have the ones who have the agency look at the problems that are there and start to come up with solutions rather than just talking about, is it going to kill us or not?
And
Maybe it
freaking
will. It's not a productive conversation. Like, and that's what's happened with our politics and everything else, because when nothing happens, the small people in control make a lot of money. So that's what they're trying to do, and that's why nothing's happening. And people keep this existential crisis that is not doing anything productive for any of us, and it's going to be up to people of our generation to actually start trying to do solutions. Because if we had started 50 years ago when Jimmy Carter put solar panels on the White House, things would be easy. But we've waited 50 years.
Yeah, I mean, you take you took the turnpike coming up here. If you look at New York City, there's a solid, thick layer of fog around it. It's all fucking pollution and whatnot.
Yep.
You got some thick ass air up here. Bro, always.
Especially in the
any day, yeah.
Yeah, sunrise, sunset. Yeah, there's one of the more interesting arguments against fossil fuels and why we're able to produce such tremendous profits. Like, I think, 900,000 people have jobs in Pennsylvania because of fracking.
Wow.
Damn. And like, those are good paying jobs too. Like, and that's money that's getting to the people because they're doing work that has a lot of value to it. But there's a huge human cost to all that work that they're doing. And that cost isn't being accounted for yet. It's going to happen over 20, 30 years. And then when you don't...
What's the cost going to be?
Kids getting sick, well water being poisoned, different damages done to the environment. Because I studied fracking in a microbiology class. And what they do, the problem with fracking is 99.5% of it is perfectly okay. It's just water.
Can you explain to us a little bit what exactly fracking is?
Yeah. So the idea is that there are oil deposits in the crust and what's right underneath us that we can access pretty easily. And so we just send a pipe down there, pipe gets the oil, we manage to pull it back up through whatever means. I don't know how they pull the oil back up, but I just know there are ways you can get the oil. It's very easy. And that's the oil they have in Saudi Arabia. So they can make oil extremely cheaply. Now, there are other sources of oil that are trapped inside of porous rock. So inside of like a sponge, there's a lot of oil in there. And we can't like stick a mosquito straw in there. We just can't do it. So what we have to do is we have to put a pipe inside of there, and then we flush the whole thing with water. And so that water going through it is, you could imagine, is like little razor blades going through the middle of the sponge and cutting everything up and letting that straw suck all that oil back up. So when it sucks the stuff back up, it's going to be, a mixture of the water, the oil, the sand, and all this other things in there. And as it sucks everything up, bacteria begin to thrive in that environment because there's a lot of, different things that they can start living off of. And there's a lot of water and there's motion, there's heat. And so bacteria start to live on these pipes. And so the problem with this is that it's very expensive to continue to replace these pipes because the bacteria continue to damage them. So the solution was, we're going to put this very toxic substance in with this solution, and it's going to destroy the bacteria. So fracking is done because you need to access this oil that's otherwise inaccessible. So the water goes in there, blasts everything apart. But the problem is that the pipes will begin to degenerate. So you have to put poisonous stuff in the solution to kill the bacteria.
Damn.
And then as that water seeps through, the whole thing is that, it just keeps going and it finds its way out and it doesn't have any problem. But there's also aquifers that are underneath the water at that level of the fracked site. And then if that biocide gets in, it's called biocide, just poison. If that gets into the drinking water, everybody drinks it. That's why you just shouldn't drink tap water anymore. You shouldn't drink tap water.
Oh, really?
You just shouldn't. No.
I've drunk tap water since my whole life.
I would suggest you do not.
This is tap water. I've just refilled it.
I would suggest you do not.
Oh, really?
I would get a Brit. Yeah,
everywhere. Yeah. But this isn't well water though. This is
city water, right?
City water, yeah.
Yeah. That's why.
That's why.
Yeah. Like in most, like you've heard of Flint, right?
Yeah.
That problem's in a lot of the U.S. Yeah. And this comes down to the political thing we're talking about, existential crisis. Nothing gets done about it. We haven't had money invested in our infrastructure in a huge amount of time. I could be wrong. The tap water here could be good, but I think
that's why I'm so big though, because probably tap water.
Yeah. Well, the main problem is heavy metals get in there and other different types of like fluorochemicals get in there, and a lot of bottled water article just came out about how there are a lot of like crazy sounding chlorofluorochemicals that are in the water and are really bad for us over a long term. Like they don't damage you the day you have them, but it's like over 20, 30 years, these problems begin to develop.
Oh, wow.
Also between, a lot of chemicals are in the water too. There was a really interesting one, C7 that got released into, the river that goes through Ohio, and you can actually track cancer based on where all these chemicals got released. And it's really sad, but a lot of the places where it's really heavily affected are, Black American populations.
Yeah.
And if you look at where COVID hit the worst, it was when these immune suppressed individuals that have all these cancer cases, because they're in areas that were heavily exposed to these chemicals that, just destroyed them. And like if you were somebody that had access to a lawyer and you got this chemical, they would come in, they'd pay you off. But the people that couldn't fight for their legal rights, they get screwed. That's some vice thing. I mean, it's just way harder than we needed to go. But yeah, somehow we got on fracking here. But so there's a lot. The fracking biocide is deadly, but the reason it's deadly is to kill bacteria. Now, it could be that if it's in our drinking water and we have it, there's a very easy solution to it because it's this chemical that could be easily countered. But it's a private company that owns the fracking equipment and the fracking solution and the fracking agent is all owned by it's under patent, so they don't have to tell you what it is. The government doesn't demand that it knows what this biocide is, so the government's just like, okay, you can put whatever you want in there because that's your patent, and there's no communication along there. You know, you just don't know what's in the water, so we just don't know what goes in there, and then it gets into our drinking water for sure, bro.
Where's this happening at?
Everywhere.
Oh yeah.
Everywhere there's water, bro.
Because if you think about it, like, it's basically like free money for people that own these fracking companies, and people get work from it too. Like, there's a lot of money that's generated from this. But if we ignore the damage it's going to cause further down the road, it also causes earthquakes.
Damn.
Because you think you're just like destroying the rocks, you're making everything. There's a lot of earthquakes in Oklahoma now.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So it's like literally the literal definition of destroying the planet for the profit of a very few number of people and in the employment of a smaller yet a reasonable. And like, anytime you can employ people, that's a good thing. But we need to take a look at like what are the overall costs of that employment. Like if there's like a little bit of damage and then these guys can make some money, it's fine. But like this is long-term, long-lasting damage. That's not good.
But sometimes I think if the city gets hit by an earthquake and just gets destroyed.
It's possible.
Here, New York City?
Yeah.
I mean, the biggest threat, the thing that scares, like, probably the most reasonable threat here, what should scare you is, like, a suitcase nuke. That scares me.
Suitcase nuke?
Yeah. I probably shouldn't even have brought that up.
No, it's entirely possible. You know what I think about?
Nuke?
You know what I think about every time I'm going through the Lincoln Tunnel.
What
Like,
if that shit
they could
closes?
blow this bitch up anytime they wanted to.
Yeah.
Especially, I was going through it when Trump was going through it at one time because they had like fucking everything closed off. I was like, this would be like the perfect time.
Yeah.
I actually saw a video on Instagram where there was a fire inside of one of these tunnels and all the cars were parked in, like not moving.
Jesus.
I was like, what? We were like running out through the tunnel to get out.
Wow. Yeah. No, that's Joey Diaz made that point. Like when he was out here, like he was, oh man, I tell you, Joe, if Godzilla comes out of the whatever the river is over here, the
Hudson.
Yeah. If Godzilla comes out of the Hudson, where the heck are all these people gonna go?
Yep.
I just don't know. It's gonna be terrible. He made me the point, like, oh, yeah, there's gonna be some trouble.
Yeah, no, it's
Suitcase nuke, bro.
Yeah, so
I am not gonna sleep.
if you actually look at the area that it would destroy, like, do you guys remember the explosion that just happened in Beirut?
Yeah,
Did you hear about
yeah,
this?
yeah.
Yep.
That's about what it would be like.
Really, that's pretty huge. How many square miles you think?
I would need to watch the Kirkazat. Have you heard of the YouTube channel Kirkazat?
That sounds
So
familiar.
it's called In a Nutshell.
Okay.
It is made by Zijamans. And super educational, but they actually talk about it, what would happen if a nuclear device were exploded in a city. And it's like the closer you get to it, the way worse it is. And then like the farther away it is, it could get bad. But like we could watch that and I could tell you the actual information about it. I think it's like then like a mile is vaporized, then 10 miles. Yeah, it's a bad. I don't know the exact, so I shouldn't be talking about it, but like it wouldn't take much for something like that to happen. And then like the Russians lost track of a lot of their nukes, and there's
Whoa.
Yeah, it's a scary
How do you
world.
lose track of a fucking nuke?
Because when the Soviet Union fell, a lot of people, there was just, people ran away and tried to take care of themselves. And a lot of the weapons got lost track of. So who knows? Does it help? Well, does it help you to, well, we just talked about how it shouldn't help you to thinking about an existential crisis, right? It's not helping you thinking about it being life and death. It's just a threat that exists. And we should take steps to try to negate it. Like
This podcast got dark.
yeah, it did.
I mean, it got real,
Yeah. Somehow
possible.
we got on fracking and nukes. Yay. But yeah, so but that whole, like, just to get back to the fracking thing, they're basically destabilizing the crust that we live on. They're poisoning our drinking water so that a few people can make money. And I guarantee the people that own these companies are donating a lot to political campaigns on both sides of the goddamn aisle. Because this was supposed to be banned by the Democratic platform. Okay, and I don't want to get, we should change subjects after this, but it was supposed to be banned by the platform, and then some goddamn lobbyists took it out of there. So now even the Democrats aren't standing against it. But like, Sorry. You need a group that stands for the people. And right now, nobody really does, and that's the last we should talk about that. Now, how about talk more about microdoses, huh? Yeah. Let's change it back
John,
to a little more.
I feel like you fuck with aliens, bro.
Yeah. Well, I play that Stellaris. Yeah. Where do you want to go with aliens?
Where do you want to go with aliens?
I mean,
bro?
you think they've been here, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, why haven't they? I don't see any reason why they wouldn't.
Yeah. Are you guys familiar with Graham Hancock?
Sign me up, bro.
Another Joe Rogan podcast you're going to want. Again, I'm going to pull out my phone just so I can find the name of this book because it sent chills down my spine. So, oh boy, there's so much information we got to touch in here if we're going to get into this. Oh my God.
What the fuck was that?
That was, I was showing Nicky earlier a video of another French bulldog that I dearly love because he has his really adorable Cleo here. Let me find the name of this book because I think it's Fingerprints of the Gods.
They touch on a little bit of the gods or the aliens. Is that what he's getting at?
Let me get at this because what existed before us was probably observed by aliens, but there was Fingerprints of the Gods, Graham Hancock. We'll X that out.
You think produced? Okay, Fingerprint of the Gods.
Yeah. No, probably what it was. He makes this great point. So there's only so far we can touch on here, but his big argument is that about 2 million years ago, there was a type of human that used stone tools. Mm-hmm. It took 1 million years to go from one manner of stone tool to something slightly better. 1 million years went by. From that ape that developed that nicer stone tool, it took like another 500,000 years for something to come out. And then another tool is known to these other species of homos. And then when we came along,
It's great. That's good. It's great.
The other homos out there. We're the only homos left, guys. We're all homos at this. But we're the only ones left now. But there were many species of human of the genus Homo. There were many of them that existed, and we're the only ones now. But as time went by, it was a very slow process of tool development. And there have been anatomically modern humans for 300,000 years now. We've found skeletons of us that are that old. So we've had the same hardware for 300,000 years. I think he said 100,000 years ago, we started to use slightly different tools and fire. And it was this really slow development. And then somewhere 40,000 years ago, boom, cave painting started to show up. And then everything started to change and culture started to happen. This was a worldwide global phenomenon. And his idea behind it is that humans started to practice experimenting with psychedelic mushrooms on a cultural level.
I've heard this theory before.
Yeah.
As in they all gather around the fucking campfire and
pop some shroomies.
or what is your idea of experiments?
So what I think they managed to do is and Graham Hancock talks a lot about this, and I think one of the biggest problems we have in America and why I think jiu-jitsu is so amazing for us is that we've lost our connection to spirit. That's Graham Hancock's entire argument. That the single thing that's wrong with us today on a civilization basis across the world is that nobody really has a connection to spirit. We have a connection to things, money, power, all that.
Because there's things that you can't see that constantly happen.
Well, there are things that the human mind's soul needs a connection to where it's at. It needs to feel purpose. And our modern culture has done a very bad job of making people have access to purpose. There are very few people that get to that pinnacle where you feel like you can have purpose. Most people are just kind of shuffling through life. They don't really have their defining goal. And when you experiment with, his idea is that you'd experiment with this plant medicine, and that would help, transition your mind to where you finally start to have a connection with the area around you, and you start to finding your purpose in life to an extent. And he thought that this was a civilization that was based upon this, the practice with psilocybin mushrooms, and that they would practice it and it would be like a rite of passage as you came up. And these were a group of people that might have, who knows how much they could have discovered.
Do you think this type of plant had just always been there and they just never touched it before?
That's psilocybin mushrooms? Yeah, there are 40 species of mushrooms that produce psilocybin.
And is there evidence of it being around before they started experimenting?
Yeah.
So it just took us essentially that long to start trying it.
Yep.
Wow.
Aren't there a lot of mushrooms that could kill you too?
Yeah. But, there are some interesting ways you can get around. Like if you take a mushroom, you can rub it on your skin and then you can look at it 10 minutes later and see if there's an effect. Paul Stamets.
There'll be like an allergic effect?
Yeah, exactly.
Oh,
see
really?
If you can eat it. Yeah, you should not eat any random mushrooms unless you feel you have obtained them from a reputable source. But so
Well, they pretty much growing shit, right?
exactly, yeah, exactly.
poop.
That, yep,
Right?
yeah, exactly. So that's what we'd eat them, and then
delicious.
and then start to alter your consciousness, and you change how because it was.
So you're eating what's dead. So
No, the fungus is very much alive.
yeah, but it comes from a dead. It comes from the
Other
dead.
life.
Other life, yeah,
it just
from
comes
dead life.
plants.
John, you might know more about this, but I thought that humans are most closely related to fungi
Ooh,
on like a biological level.
So yes, you're talking about like if you have the tree of life,
Yeah.
and like where it bifurcates out. So at the middle of it, the closest thing to what was originally is bacteria, archaea is what they're called. So these are like the earliest forms of life. They live in very extreme environments now. So the very first what's it called again? Niches for life. So like the very first environments for life were taken up by these archaea, and then after them, bacteria devolved, and then from bacteria you had eukaryotes and prokaryotes. Eukaryotes we all are eukaryotes. We have nucleuses in our cell. I'm sure you've heard of them. Sorry.
Stat of the nucleus.
Yeah, but and then bacteria, prokaryotes, archaea and bacteria don't have a nucleus.
Yeah.
And now, so of the eukaryotes that we are, there are these things called protists. Those are small single-celled organisms that make people sick, and they're like almost infinitely large. Like it's crazy how many of them there are. Crazy. They're the protists, and then the tree starts to advance, and then it branches off to plants. And there's a crazy number of plants, and then it keeps going forward, and then it branches off to fungi.
Yeah.
And that's where there are more. Like I think they've discovered 50,000 species of fungi, and they think there are like 1 million species. Like they think it's just there are reasons for that too, like how it reproduces and whatnot. And then after that, animals come off, and then if you follow that animal branch, it starts to peer out from there, and then you can keep going down till you find humans. But yeah, not humans, but animals and fungi are very closely related.
Damn.
Yeah. Yeah, as compared to plants or protists or archaea or bacteria. Pretty sure those are the 6 families. I went to school at CU Boulder, and I studied a lot of this stuff there. Yeah.
I mean, in reality, if one day all the humans just disappeared, the plants would take over everything in a couple years. New York City would be fucking engulfed in trees and shit.
Yeah, dude. If you just drive around because I've been driving around the country a lot recently. You see plants are already taking stuff back over, man. Like our reign over this planet. We've been here for 300,000 years. We've had civilization the civilization that we know of. Graham Hancock thinks there was high civilization during the Ice Age. Because sorry to get back into that one, but like there was a lot of ice in North America, so the sea level was a lot lower, so there was a lot more land exposed. And his theory is that Antarctica actually hosted a civilization, and that if we were to go there and search 200 feet underneath the sea, we'd probably see some crazy stuff. Like crazy stuff.
That would be nuts.
Yeah, well, because his theory behind this is that like when there was all this ice in North America, the sea level was a lot lower, and where there would be a lot of land if the sea level was 300 feet lower is in nice places. Like in Asia, there's a lot of different land that would have been exposed, and it probably was a much better planet for our species. And then his theory is that a comet struck 10,000 years ago and changed everything.
Fuck.
Yeah, and so every culture has a flood theory. I mean, not theory, but a flood story.
Yeah.
And that, like literally the whole planet could have changed and traumatized us to a point where we forgot all these important lessons that ancient civilization had to teach us. And that's why I think we're like limping forward, like we're orphans of some greater, that's Graham Hancock's theory, that we're orphans of some greater sires that were trying to bring us some information to us. They were trying to tell us something that's very important that they understood. Like people have a tendency to think that where we're at right now is the best and the highest and the greatest and everything's the best. But no, man, there were probably people that had understood how to live way better than we do. We're not doing this. How to live right.
In what sense?
Well, just how
to be happy?
How to live the type of life that a human being is supposed to live. We're probably not doing it right.
You eat, you trip, fuck.
Well, is that really it? Like, what actually stimulates the human spirit? Like, what
probably
actually?
Family, right? Kids and
close,
shit.
A close connection to your community, making good progress with people's lives, everybody advancing forward. But that connection piece is the biggest part of it, and that's what we're lacking a lot of. Like, there's another great book called Sapiens, and that's where I got a lot of the human development stuff. And he talks about how over the past 200 to 300 years, the role of the family in daily life has been assaulted by the state. Mm-hmm. And so if you were to go 300-400 years back in the past, families would be the welfare system. Families would be taking care of each other. You know, it'd be like all the police, all the different everything. Families would take care. That's also why people killed each other a lot more. There was a lot more murder back in the day than there is now. But that like decrease in the size of the family, the decrease in people's direct community has caused some serious problems, like psychological and health. Like obesity isn't just related to our diet; it's also related to how isolated we are from each other. And what have we been doing this whole year, right? Like,
yeah, true.
You know, like there are a lot of different issues that.
Everyone's got that quarantine LB, bro. Quarantine weight.
Yeah, no kidding. But like, I mean, if you just look at the metrics on how people are living right now, like how high is happiness? Where do people feel like we're on the right path? Are people healthy right now? Like, and what's the trajectory been for 40 years?
It's been a big step backwards. Seems like it.
Not everybody, Nicky. Some of us are doing great, right?
Some, true.
My life over the past month has improved dramatically. Like my life since quarantine, dude, I have been living better than I ever have in my entire life. Like,
really?
I'm having a great time right now.
That's good to hear. And in what way has it improved?
Oh, you know, I got purpose now, man. You know, this thing the guy's trying to do with Studio 84, you know, he really wants to build something different, and we don't quite know exactly what the identity for that is yet. It will develop over time.
Yep.
But, you know, highest quality of training possible, open to all people. Yeah. And, you know, we're not there to stack up dollar bills. You know, we just want to show up in the morning, hang out, talk about martial arts all day, and leave at night.
Yep.
You know, and that's his vision for what he's trying to create. I really appreciate, really enjoy, and it's really rare to see somebody start up a martial arts school because they love martial arts. Mm-hmm. Most people start up a school because they need to make the money.
Yeah, they need to make the money. That's the point.
That's the word, right? Language is very important.
Yep.
And and that need creates this negative culture that kind of permeates through a lot of jiu-jitsu, I think. And what he's trying to do is just, you know, he doesn't need this to function. So everything that's being happened there is out of his love of martial arts and desire to share it with other people. It just shows him how beautifully designed the place is. You know, the chill classes we're trying to run, you know, talking.
It's a really nice spot.
It's a genuine studio.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, dog. Well, you have anything you want to plug? Instagram, you got a YouTube, you got
We will be building that. You know, we're definitely getting a Studio 84 YouTube page. Should be some really good stuff. Before we get going, so just to touch on so Graham Hancock and Paul Stamets both have done Joe Rogan podcasts. Graham Hancock on his ancient civilization theory, which I'd suggest people to check out because we are probably the lesser sons of greater sires, and you know, there's probably a lot that we could learn from studies of ancient people. And then.
We gotta you're falling apart here.
That last part, what was that guy's name? James Nestor is the breathing dude. And Paul Stamets, his more recent podcast has a lot on microdosing and the really crazy effects of mushrooms super quick. Lion's mane mushrooms with B3, niacin, and then some microdose. Those three together apparently have insane stimulant effects for the brain. So I'm going to be trying to get on some of that. And apart from that, you know, thanks to Penguin Fingers. You know, have you had any Penguin Fingers?
No, I haven't had them. I've heard of them though. I've heard of them though.
I dropped the ball, bro. I'm going to get you a little care package next time we get back up here. Yeah. How do you nogi wise? How do your hands feel?
I mean, they're sore sometimes. I'll break a finger here and there, not too frequently though. You have fucking the fingers of a 90-year-old though. Fuck, bro. Jesus.
Oh, dude, my right hand's so much worse than my left.
Yeah.
This happened, dude. This was so okay. After this, we should end it up. This was one of my. So I win the ADCC trials, and Lachlan Giles hits me up on Facebook like 6 weeks after or something, and he's like, "Hey, congratulations! You know, you want to come to Australia? We'll train." And I was just like, "Oh, that sounds great, bro. Yeah, but I got this gi tournament coming up in like 5 weeks. I'm going to do that. You know, I really want to qualify for Worlds." And he was like, "Oh, yeah, that makes a lot of sense. You qualified for the ADCCs and you're going to try to do some gi tournament right now. I think that's a really smart thing to do." And I was just like, I didn't even process how he was like calling me out of just being a stupid idiot thing to do, man. It's like I did the gi tournament in May in Denver and ruined my finger strangling somebody, and then ruined it even worse trying to beat Michael Liera. So like I hurt my finger really bad. I was taping it. And then I was like, okay, I probably got, right after I walked off the mat, I went off to tape my finger. And I was like, okay, I probably got, like 10 minutes to warm up. Like, John Combs, please report. And I was like, no.
Oh, wow. Damn.
Yeah, so I ran out there and then, and trying to break grips and whatnot, I like ruined my whole hand. My whole hand was like an extra 2 sizes bigger. Yeah, it was not good. And dude, that affected my training though. Like I did, still even to today, still affects my training.
And which finger did you break?
So what happened was when I grabbed the cloth here. Oh, sorry. My my ring finger got pulled underneath these. Yeah. And then as I twisted, it got pushed in that direction. So this knuckle got pushed that way really hard.
Like a heavy dislocation.
Yeah, because it was a big twist.
Yeah.
And instead of the bone popping out, the ligament here just bent really far. And that got set through there. So these two went over. So this finger hurts a little bit. This one hurts a little bit. But it's this one. Like if you can see, it's like bent over that way. Yeah,
it's pretty big. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty.
Yeah, what I need to be doing for him, and I'm going to get this at the academy there, is a 5-gallon bucket with rice so you can dig through it. And then rubber bands. So you want to extend here, and then I have grippers that I should use too. But like your hands and your feet are both things that you want to be taking care of.
So you're not really rolling in the gi much, right? Still?
Potentially. There's a chance Guy and I might do a couple podio. There's a chance we might go rep Studio 84 there. And if that happens, then we'll probably do a lot more gi training. But if that doesn't happen, and I need to talk to him more today about it, then I'm probably going to focus mainly on no gi. Because, dude, 80cc's, they're less than a year away now, bro.
Yeah. It's going to be here fast.
Yes. Saddle up, make your argument.
Yep.
Hi, Mo.
Hell yeah, man. Well, hey, man, we appreciate having you, bro.
Yeah, dude, this was great. Nicky, thank you, bro.
Of course, buddy. Of course.
You want to plug your socials real fast, too? Where can people find you?
At Combs JiuJitsu. That's my Instagram. I will be making a YouTube channel, probably Studio 84 Jiu-Jitsu, and, trying to work on that. I know you got your YouTube, right? Yeah.
Yes, sir. NickyRod All Access.
Yeah. Yeah, that's such a great name.
Cop that merch right now, man.
Yeah. Yeah, bro. So at Combs Jiu-Jitsu and then Studio 84 Jiu-Jitsu.
All right, guys. You heard it. Thanks for watching, and we'll catch you next time on NickyRod All Access.
Thank you, guys.
Wuss. Ooh, that was great, bro.
Dude, my man.
Yeah.
What's up, bro?
Yeah, I can't believe we got on fracking. You get me on politics, man.
It's all good. It's a good conversation.
But isn't that crazy that it's like this crazy murder juice that they just won't tell anybody about?
Lately I've been wildin', I'ma let the word talk, I'm staying silent. And I'm thumbing through the paper like I'm filing. Shorty bad and she love it when she riding. Girl, damn, I don't walk in, I slide in. Drama shit, getting hoes excited.